You still have some coffee there, Mom?
Yes, I do.
All right, we're ready to go. So you got a cool cup there. Lift that
Yes.
one up and show
It
that one.
says, whole lotta Jesus.
A whole latte or lotta, Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? And Mom, it's your color. It's
Yep,
purple.
lavender.
So let's talk about this cup for a minute that I'm drinking out of. Talk about
Yes.
that.
Bob gave that to me, I'll bet, 50 years ago.
It's old, isn't it? See, it's got the Holy Spirit dove on it. And you kept it all this time.
I have.
That's pretty
I
nice.
can't part with it.
Well, awesome. Good. And you see the difference, how small it is? Because we drink a whole latte more coffee than we used to, don't we?
Yes.
That's right. Well, we haven't done a podcast for a while, and it's about time that we get back into this. Now, I'm changing our focus a little bit, Mom, because you're short.
Doesn't look like it now.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like it now, because my seat is a lot lower than yours, and I lowered the camera, so
Looks good.
we're right at your height.
Yep.
Okay, that works. Well, this is our first update for a few days, and we wanted to tell you a little bit that's going on. Mom, it's been a whirlwind, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. It's been a scary time.
It's a real scary time, and people can't even imagine the devastation. Let me just give you a little quick summary. The tornado was on the ground for over an hour, full force. It plowed through cities, 75 miles that it traveled. It was F4 in some places, at least 165 miles an hour through almost the whole thing. And right here where we live was some of the hardest hit as well. So, Mom, there are still some streets that aren't open, Old Hickory Boulevard, some that are major thoroughfares that are still not open yet because of the devastation. And all the way from Nashville past our city, and we're, what would you say, 25, 30 minutes away from downtown Nashville, all the way here, and then to the next city and past that. So 75 miles, a path of a lot of destruction. And, you know, even some of the places that we shop at have been destroyed. And let me show you a few pictures. So it's been horrible here in our area, but Mom, I don't think anything was harder hit than the bridge itself.
Yes.
It seems like that's where the biggest destruction took place, is exactly where we serve the homeless. So around there, there's right next to there is a concrete company, gravel company, and they have these huge amounts of gravel and all the stuff. And then around that are apartment buildings, condos, some that are newly built. There were some that were almost completed that they're building, and everything has now been condemned around us. A lot of the buildings are gone. Some are barely standing, but they've all been condemned. And Mom, I heard that even the above the bridge are still some overturned cars that are there. In the gravel company, some of those big cement trucks were on their side. We have one couple that have been eating with us for a while that were in their little motorhome camper, a small one that they've been living in, and they were parked there. And it ended up on its side, completely destroyed, and they ended up in the hospital, as did many people. But it's, well, let me show you what it looks like under the bridge right now. So it's devastation, and you can't imagine what it's like just by looking at the news, because whatever you see on the news, it's much worse. And until you see it, until you see the physical damage, it's unbelievable. So we've been serving ever since the disaster. We these are our friends that are under the bridge, Mom. These are their family to us, and we serve, well, sometimes 200 people, a lot of times 200 people, and we've had as high as over 300 people. These are family. We set up the picnic tables. They sit, they talk. They call you Mom, and they want to tell her their stories and what's going on in their lives. They do that with both of us, and we hug them. And these are family, and these are the people that are displaced, and Mom, they're homeless, but they've lost everything. In other words,
Yeah.
they only have the clothes on their backs. The piles, as you saw in those pictures, some of those are tents, and some of the clothing and everything's been destroyed. So we've had to start from the basics. In the last 2 days, well, we were just carrying food in. You couldn't drive into that area at all. And we've kind of found a little bit of a back way to get in now. And so the last couple days, we've been setting up the tables and serving in the middle of all this destruction, and helping people to begin to cope, serve some hot meals. Mom, you've been busy cooking, and serving some hot meals and a little bit of love, and we're trying to get back to things. We're busy building a barbecue trailer. And we kind of felt like this might be the best way to go forward, is to have a barbecue every day. Because there's something about a barbecue that makes you relax, feels like family. And so we're going to be setting up our tables every day. We have on Sunday, we have some friends that are coming with bobcats and dump trucks, and they're going to clean the whole area under the bridge and around the bridge right there for us, so that we can begin to help people rebuild their lives, and we can again have our family. So we're still waiting for the final report on the bridge. Even they're saying that there could be some structural damage, and of course, if there is, they'll repair it. It's a major. Well, it's 5 lanes up there, and again, it took a pretty big hit. But we're beginning that as well. We're building this barbecue trailer, and we'll be able to make a lot of food on it, and just kind of do it as we go to make a more of a family feel. We're expecting to spend extra time with them, and again with all of our picnic tables with them and everything every day, and we just want them to feel good about it. But Mom, how are you feeling with this whole thing? This has been it's traumatic for them, but it's a little traumatic for you as well.
It is, because you can't get with the people to talk with them. We don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of helpless as what to do.
And we're still afraid that we might have lost a few of them too. There's a few that are not exactly accounted for yet. And we do have one that we know died, and we fear there are many more. We'll see what happens, but it's devastating, and for us, Mom, it's not just people you hear about. These are people that we've developed relationships with
They're
over the
friends.
years.
Yeah.
They're friends, absolutely friends. So it's been really difficult. Now, I know I speak for my mom when I say thank you, thank you, thank you
Yes.
for responding.
All the support, yes.
It's been awesome. And you've been sending in finances. Thank you for that. You have no idea how much it's needed right now. And we're not finished, are we, Mom? There's still so much that we need, and so many things that we need to. People have been responding, and I love this. Tyson, a few weeks ago, sent us 8,000 pounds of chicken that we've used, and today we got some. What was it called?
Chicken wings, hot chicken wings.
Hot chicken wings today, and 40 cases of them, I think, today. Those will go a little. They're hot. You tried one.
Yeah, they're hot, but not as hot as I thought they would be.
And we can serve a lot of people with those, can't we?
Yeah.
And we have other people responding. Of course, Trader Joe's is wonderful to us, and they continue to donate. And we have other food possibilities coming in. We're just looking for things that we can barbecue specifically, and we may have to purchase some food too. But Mom, we've been purchasing tents and sleeping bags and all of those things, and kind of desperately trying to get all that together because they've lost everything. Those tents ended up in the tornado and they're mangled. So
yeah,
we're replacing it all.
It's a big need.
It is. So the news has tried to cover a little bit, and they don't always get everything right, but they did a little bit here. Here's a little bit of a clip from one of our local stations, and Mom, they're interviewing Michael.
Yeah.
We know very well. We serve him every day. They didn't say that his mom also lives in a tent down there, and they're friends. This is community, and there are communities that live together in tents that are people that are homeless that kind of watch out for each other, and there's a community there. And when you see this little clip of Michael, all those people standing behind him are all sanctuary people. You see all the boxes. We've hiked all those boxes in to feed them and to take care of them. And then at the end there, you'll see Wendell and Steve Catstow. They're behind them. I think they kind of snuck behind them for a photo op, Mom. I think they wanted to be on camera. I don't know. But anyway, they're behind Michael. And I just wanted to show you this clip because it kind of shows a little bit of the emotion that some of these people are going through.
I think the thing that's really captured the nation's attention with this tornado outbreak here in Nashville is just how close to downtown this is. I mean, you can see the skyline and you look over just a little bit and there is devastation. So I want to bring in one of our crew members here, Brittany Edney. She is from WGCL, our sister station in Atlanta. She's downtown on Jefferson Street Bridge right now, or very close to it at least. Brittany, when you were coming into town, what struck you about the devastation where you are?
Lauren, I think you nailed it right there. From where I'm standing near the Jefferson Street Bridge, if we do a 180-degree pivot, I'm going to show you the difference from this beautiful skyline of Nashville and then the Department of Human Resources over here, just in pure shambles this evening. With that much damage done to a building, think of how vulnerable human beings were over here underneath this Jefferson Street Bridge last night into the overnight early morning hours with that twister tearing through those side streets heading this way. Many of them bunkered down in some of these silk thin fabric tents that are still amongst some of this debris and warped metal underneath the bridge. But that's what people were relying on to keep them safe. A very scary situation. One of those residents here joining us live, Michael, you know, you told me as soon as you saw that twister coming your way that you got on phone with 911. What were you saying to that representative you spoke with?
It was actually before I could get any words out other than tornado. I look over to the west and I just see a massive black cloud coming right for me. I was given very little time to prepare. I grabbed up my dog, held her in a shopping cart, and went on a ride that could have very well been my last.
And I mean, you had a stranger on the phone with you, with what could have been your final moments. What did you guys talk about? What kind of support did you have from another human being, someone you didn't even know, in those uncertain moments?
It was definitely a scary moment. Having the 911 dispatcher there eased the loneliness a little bit, but it didn't eliminate the fact that it could be my last time ever speaking to someone. I was on the phone with someone I don't know. They don't know me. But the fact that the 911 dispatcher, while I was waiting to be rescued, sat and actually prayed with me, definitely lifted a big burden off my shoulders. And then to see the lights of the first responders coming really opened up a world. I knew I was going to be okay. I was really worried about the people I camp with and whether or not they were going to be okay. It was very unsettling not knowing who was hurt, who was trapped, what friend of mine I could have lost.
And, you know, I can just feel the emotion just pouring out of you. And this has been such a difficult and scary day. But look at just a few feet away from you. Everyone at home, Michael literally bunkered down in right next to his tent. And then the next thing you knew, while you were on that phone, you were being twirled around and ended up getting buried underneath a pile just like this of metal, of stuff that looks like it came from atop of the Department of Human Resources building just a few feet away. What was it like waiting for those responders to get to you? How did it feel being trapped underneath a pile just very similar to this?
Well, it was definitely a very scary moment. The 30 minutes felt like hours. I was starting to say prayers that I was going to be okay. Unsettling as it was, I can't change the past, but I can only work toward the future. The bridge looks a lot better than it did just several hours ago when I first did my interview. We've been working nonstop. We've got more resources coming in tomorrow. We've got contractors that are going to bring out bobcats and chainsaws, and we're going to try to get this blooming little tent city we had going back up to, the little beautiful place it was, what few of us call home. It's very difficult to look at it now and realize you don't have anything else.
Earlier this afternoon, Michael told me it struck a very personal chord. He said that he felt kind of forgotten underneath this bridge. And in the past few hours, we've seen a lot of volunteers. You can see the pile of resources coming out from water and simple necessities, but also some warm treats, that coffee and Dunkin' Donuts, pastries just coming through in the past 10 or 15 minutes ago. But volunteers also trying to make their way out to this camp that heard about what was going on, even asking our crew, hey, we want to get there. We saw that you were there. How can we get access to where people like Michael are so we can come and show that support? Hearing all of that and seeing the love that's been coming out this afternoon, how does that make you feel? Do you still feel like you were forgotten under this bridge, or has this kind of changed your viewpoint on humanity a little bit?
From the neighborhood where we're at, it's very economically secure. There's a very big outcry right now. A lot of support from the people who normally treat us at the worst are actually coming around and, giving out what little they have left to help someone like us, which is nice. So, it doesn't change my perspective on humanity a whole lot, but it definitely is a start to, people doing the right thing. And a community is only stronger if we band together.
Can you describe a little bit? I mean, this is a situation that many people luckily will never be in, but the force of that wind, what happened? What do you remember feeling when that was coming through?
I remember being pelted with rocks. It got very, very chilly. At that point, it was time for me to, make a quick split decision in what I was going to do, and I decided to shelter myself next to a shopping cart.
So, yeah, it's devastating, and people like Michael, there's some that can't talk and aren't able to articulate yet. There's so many people that are traumatized, and that's why it's important that we not only serve food, but that we're able to
listen.
Listen is a big deal, isn't it? To spend time with them, and Mom, you are mom to so many people, and and you end up just listening, don't you?
Yes, just listen. That's the
Yeah.
best thing you can do.
It's the best thing, yes. So we have um, we have one more complication today. It's going to be 25 degrees tonight, and we got cold weather coming in again. It's been warm the last few days, which is one of the reasons we had the tornado. When the hot air hit the cold air, that makes tornadoes. And now the cold air is coming back, 25 degrees. Not only do we need to get people sleeping bags and tents and whatever, but we need to make sure that they can withstand the cold. Now, Mom, there are a few shelters that are open that are housing some of our homeless friends, but some of these people are a little stubborn, and they are not able to bring all their stuff into the shelters with them, and they're afraid that somebody's going to steal it, those things that they did, that they were able to keep. And then some of them just don't feel like they get along with people real well. Many of them are really hurt, and they don't know how to communicate well, whatever it might be. But there's still some on the streets, Mom, that will continue to be, and we need to get them ready for this cold as well. And so again, many of them have nothing left. We're trying to get them blankets and tents and sleeping bags, and we have these little burners, Mom, that are like almost a little camp stove that you put propane on, and we refill that propane every single day for people. It not only helps to keep them warm, but it's a little something to cook on too. And of course, those have all been destroyed, so we're having to replace them as well. So thank you for all of you who have given. Would you continue? You know, I hate fundraising, Mom, but I don't mind doing this.
It's for a good cause.
It is for a good cause. And we just feel like we're standing in the gap between the homeless and people who really do desire to help. And I know that you are one of those who really have a heart for this. Mom, every day on my podcast, I say you are blessed.
So go be a blessing.
So go be a blessing. You're blessed to bless. And so those of us that have been so blessed, and we are those people, aren't we? Would you reach in again and help? I'm just going to not be ashamed and ask. We really need the help. And when I say we, our homeless friends really need the help. They need support. They need love. They need people caring around them. And there's so many people, Mom, in the Nashville area who have volunteered to help.
Yes.
Now, you were just telling me how many people were...
Yes, there's been so many volunteers that they had to turn away 2,500 that came to help because they didn't need it.
And they can't get into those areas.
No, they don't know what to do. Like they have to wait till the insurance company comes to look at things first.
Yeah.
And
so just people like us who we've been there 15 years, because we know what to do, we know the people, we're able to get in, but we've had people that say, I'm bringing in a food truck, how can I help? And well, you can't. We've got all these workers that want to help. What can we have them do? Well, there's not much you can do right now, and the city has to clean up all this rubble because it's a problem. You know, there could be dysentery after a while or whatever from the rubble, because these buildings, if you think about it, had multiple bathrooms and whatever, and they're destroyed. So it isn't just a bunch of bricks, it's a bunch of stuff.
And they have to get all of the telephone lines and electric lines up. There have been over 400 broken poles.
Really,
wood
that many?
And metal, over 400. So they've
It's
got
massive.
a lot to do to get electricity going again. For some people, still don't have it.
Yeah, and even here in our area,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that still don't have it. Our traffic lights started to work again today, some of them. We've been without even traffic lights for a while. So, well, folks, thank you for watching. Thank you On behalf of my mom and I, thank you so much for sending in finances and your love and your support. You have no idea how much it means to us to have you standing behind us, beside us, standing in the gap with us,
Encouraging us
and encouraging.
praying.
That's been honestly the best thing, hasn't it? And thank you for that. I'm going to put the place below where you can give through PayPal or send in a check or whatever you'd like to do. And thank you for doing that. People say, well, can I just get a bunch of tents and send them? You can, but if you would send those finances instead, when we order, we can order in bulk and we get a much better deal, a little more bang for the buck, if you know what I mean, if we're able to order in bulk and stuff than what you can get individually. If you're in the Nashville area and you'd like to, if you've got extra tents, extra sleeping bags, whatever that you'd like to donate, let me know and we'll give you an address that you can drop those things off. And it's all ongoing, Mom. It's all ongoing. We have a lot of digging out to do and a lot of work to do, but even more than the physical things, we have a huge responsibility emotionally.
To stand with them.
Yeah. And in solidarity and in help and in prayer. And, so many are saying, would you just pray with me? Would you just listen? And so that's what we're doing. Well, folks, thank you once again. I appreciate so much. And Mom, we got our cool cups here. We're having a little coffee. It's a little late in the day. We didn't get this done this morning because it's been a little hectic today.
Yes, it has been.
So many people doing so many projects. We're trying so hard to dig out here. And we appreciate it. And don't forget, what am I going to say, Mom?
You're blessed, so go be a blessing.
You heard it. God bless you.